Hello and welcome back to the GMS Magazine board game videos. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the second in the series of videos about Holding On: The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr, a game from Hub Games in which we have to become the nurses who are going to look after Billy Kerr during the last days of his life. This is a video to show you how to set up the game and what the components are. So let's go on with it. Firstly, we have the board in which we can see the different stages of the day's work of a nurse: morning, afternoon and night. The waiting room where the nurses are going to be resting, and we have 4 meeples, 1 per player, 2 assistant nurses and 2, well, they are like student nurses that can only act 1 during the game and then they go away because it's a bit too stressful for them to work in healthcare environment. Figure that. We also have a few tokens. These red rings in here, they represent stress. That stress is accumulated by the nurses when they have to work overtime, and when you accumulate certain number of stress rings, then you have to have a break. You have to go home, chill out for the weekend or whenever, have a holiday, and then come back full of strength again. These are warnings. If certain conditions, like for example not having enough people to cover a shift, take place, then the hospital will receive a warning, and if we get 2 warnings, then the game, that scenario, is over and we have to start again. Lastly, we have these care tokens, and these are these tokens that kind of represent the stamina that nurses have to be able to provide with the right amount of care for Billy Kerr. If we have rested, if we haven't worked too much the previous round, then we'll have more tokens so we can ask more questions, spare more time, basically take better care of Billy. This set of big cards in here, they represent what happens throughout the day. So we're going to be drawing them, and I will explain what they mean in another video. We're going to be drawing them to represent how the day advances, and we're going to have to assign nurses to each one of these cards. This white meeple here on number 28 is Billy Kerr. This represents where he's at. If this thing comes down very much, he will die. That's not a good idea. He's going to, but we want to earn his trust so he can get over the 3 regrets he has throughout his life. We have scenarios. Beware, these cards are not to be opened until you play the scenarios. They will contain spoilers, unlike this video that contains none at all. We'll go through them as well in another video. And then we have 2 different decks of cards in here. They represent Billy's memories. We have partial memories that only show us a glimpse into Billy's life, and then we have the full memories that will show us the full and complete scenario, and they will overlap the partial memory cards that we're going to be drawing. This is essentially the setup of the game. It's as easy and simple as that. Oh, we have one more thing. This board in here, this little board, this is for the head nurse. When you have 4 players playing, this is the head nurse that's going to be taking and assigning who is going to go into each round. You also have it when you have less than 4 players, and that player will basically decide, well, this player is going to come here, that player is going to come there, the assistants are going to go here and they're going to go there, etc., etc. Basically, it's a bit more responsibility, and that is shared among all the players every single round. That's it. That's all you need to set up to play this game, and it's done in literally 5 minutes, perhaps less. Next video, and please do remember to subscribe to this channel so you can get notification when we upload new videos, and do give us a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this one, is all about what happens in the day of a nurse taking care of Billy Kerr.